Yo, what's up YouTube? And it's Wednesday morning and it's a bit crappy weather-wise, so I'm not doing anything outside. I've got the e-bike turbine is obviously not on the tower at the moment, and I noticed the other day that this has actually come apart here because of my, I presume, do welding and using rusty crappy metal. So what I've got to do is I might as well take this in the shed and fix it up, and we can have a quick look at how the motor is and everything. And if that gear cog's on, we'll take it all apart. I'm not going to take the motor apart obviously, but I'll take it off and see what's going on. So because I'm an old fart, I'm going to take the motor out, make the frame easier to lift. And there's a bit of rust there because it's been out a while. So it's just 2 bolts at the front here. They're used to adjust the motor up and down, so you can adjust the length of the chain. Yuck, and I'm not getting this crap on my fingers. And the 2 at the back. Now I need an adjustable. Should come out now, he says. There you go. So the motor actually seems okay, and the gear is still on very solid. Oh, I noticed there's one there. That one was coming undone. Apart from that, it's not too bad. Chain's all good. Give that a bit of oil. The one thing you've got to watch is this end here where the cables come out. You've got to watch that cable, because if that splits inside there, you've got a big problem. Just a quick close-up of the thread where the wires come out of the motor. So it's all looking good. I will redo that heatsink before it goes back up. But yeah, that's all good. Good thing about this frame bit that adjusts the height is you can actually lean it on there and it stops the cable from getting bashed around too much. Taken the one loose bolt out for now because I can't find my big screwdriver to do it up, so I'll need to do it up before it goes back on obviously. There's the other part of the motor mount bracket, which is just made out of angle. So this is where we've got the problem. This is the underside of the turbine. That's the front where the motor sits, that's the back, where I'd obviously bodged these two together very badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo it, clean it up, bolt it in place how I want it, and then try and weld it properly. Leave that 5 minutes to cool down. That is looking a bit suspect there. Yeah, everything that's going to fall apart, everything that may fall apart is going to get repaired or replaced, even if it means the whole thing. Right, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use a couple of strips welded on either side. But yeah, that looks dodgy as now, but once it's got those bits welded down the side, I think we've got enough stuff off to get a good clean weld. Hopefully I'll try and do it properly this time. In a bizzle, gonna have a cup of tea. There's the 12 volt stator that I made for the axial flux, so that can go back up sometime, probably take it in out of the sun I think. And that's it from a better angle. And look, what a beautiful day, the sun's come out. So we're going to be getting some outdoor stuff done as well. Big up! Good news. What could this be? Oh, nice bag, we'll keep that. Hey, good old Chinese. We have one rectifier. Sorry, I'm in the way of the light a little bit, but that looks good. That's what we want. That is what we want. Jolly good, jolly good. I got these connectors, but they're just not big enough, unfortunately. So, slight change of plan. It would be rude not to go and stick this on the other turbine while there's a little bit of wind. I don't know if there's enough to get it whizzing around, but we'll have a go. The ends of my pliers need a bit of a clean up, so good excuse to use my map torch. Oops. Nice and clean. The handle's about to melt. The new rectifier's on, and I think it's solved the problem, so going to get the blades on, then get a battery out here just in case it starts making some power, and try and get a meter set up to it in a bizzle. You beast! Got to line the shaft up with the hair. Whoa! This slippery board is going to be the threat to me. What I'm going to do while I've got the blades off is I'm going to slide another collar over, then once the blades are in situ, because it does take a bit of lining up, then I'll tighten this up behind them and it'll act as a stop to show me where in the future to make it easier to line the bolts up for the blade shaft. On it goes. Ugh. Up with the Mega Ninja throwing star. That might make it a bit easier. Oh, stop moving. Yep, that's it. No, it isn't. Hopefully that one's in. Then this one will go in fairly easy. Yep, there it goes. Beauty, that feels good. Get in there. Now I've got that additional collar there, I'm going to find a bolt for it, and then that'll act as the spacer so I know exactly how far to slide the blades on. Shame the connectors weren't the right size, but the wires are on there and they will have a good connection because of how clean everything is. Before it goes up, it is important to remember that it's running on the easier gear, so going to get more RPM on the blades and less on the generator, which makes it easier to turn but probably will produce less power. I just wanted to explain that. So yeah, that thing is knackered with a capital K. So that's the cause of the problem. I've got enough cable to not have to join the two bits together to test it for now, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go have a nice cup of tea first because that was quite stressful. That involved a bit of huffing and puffing, but the cable's through. It's not ideal though because of where it comes out, but I'm just what I did, I cut both ends with a grinder so they're nice and clean, so I'll crack on and put it back together. That looks a bit better, don't it? 3 nice clean brand new wires, so I can just wire the 3 phases up to the rectifier will now not be on top of the tower, if that makes sense. Right, time to put it back in again. Generator first. I'd actually noticed that this wasn't done up enough, so it can slide back and forward, so I need to make sure that's done up properly first. So now I'll adjust the brackets to tighten the chain up. Feels quite smooth, but it is hard to turn because it's obviously in the different gear now. So if it starts spinning, there's going to be less RPM on the blades and more RPM on the generator. So if that happens, I will be very happy. Seem to be missing some bolts, so I just need to go have a look for some bolts and then I'll just check everything's ready. I've got to sort out the wires, but that's looking pretty good. Ow. Little black helicopter. So I'd say after a good hour and a half, this is what we've got. Most of the hour and a half was basically putting together some bits of cable so it's long enough to reach in here so I don't have to be fanning around outside. We've got the meter. So how it should work: rectifier to meter to speed controller to dump load. And then I'm hoping the meter will work and show us anything that we're using. There's no battery at the minute, so I'm going to go put it up. Please note, the speed controller is engaged at 100%, so that should mean that the turbine shouldn't be at a spin enough to make the 7 volts to turn this on. But we shall see. So just to show you before I put it up, it's being driven from the larger gear to the smaller gear, which will make it harder to spin and theoretically provide more RPM at the generator than at the blades. But we shall see. There's not a lot of wind at the minute. A couple of little will-o'-the-wispy little willy bits of wind. So, oh, there's a bit. So yeah, we shall see. Let's give it a go. Into the wind, my beauty. I'll just give it a spin by hand. Yeah, I think that's good. I forgot to put the cable on the back so I can pull it around, so got to reverse that. Let's try again. The wind's just gone completely, but I'm going to go take the brake off and we'll see if it moves. So that's the brake off. I'm going to leave that on a minute. We'll have a tidy up in case we get any good action. pretty much gone, but I'm going to leave the camera on recording anyway. Whoa, sorry. No, the wind's gone. Where I shall also be doing some more on this, like I should have done. That's all that fixed up. That ain't going nowhere. Just I need to attach something from the base to the pipe, some little triangles. Smoking, baby. Smoking. Actually, I started going through the hole, so now I've done a lot of welding on the underside, so it's a hell of a lot stronger. So I'm going to give it a coat of this anti-rust paint. Oh, this paint is lovely and thick. Very nice. Wow, I might go and buy some more tins of this. Epic stuff, cover that. Epic stuff, really good stickiness. Sweet! So that's it for tonight. That's all fixed up, ready for another boom shanker.